Have you ever heard the chilling tale of Sister Agnes, the nun of Blackwood Abbey? Her story isn't one of faith and devotion, but of a darkness so profound it stained the very stones of the convent. This isn't just a ghost story. It's a warning about what happens when piety becomes a mask for cruelty. Back in the late 1800s, Blackwood Abbey wasn't a place of peace. It was a cold, unforgiving orphanage ruled by Sister Agnes. By all accounts, she was a woman whose heart had turned to stone. Her punishments were legendary for their severity, whispered about in the nearby village. A dropped spoon could mean a day without food. A tearful cry at night could earn a child a long, lonely stay in the damp, dark cellar. The children lived in constant fear. They learned to be silent, to be invisible. Agnes seemed to take a grim satisfaction in their misery. We'd patrol the halls at night, her footsteps echoing like a slow, deliberate drumbeat, a rhythm of dread. The other nuns, either too scared or too indifferent, turned a blind eye to her reign of terror. They would mutter prayers, perhaps for the children, or perhaps for their own souls, complicit in their silence. One winter, a new orphan arrived, a small, quiet girl named Alara. She was different from the others. While the rest of the children cowered, Alara had a spark of defiance in her eyes. She wasn't rude or disobedient, but she wouldn't break. She would look directly at Sister Agnes, her gaze steady, and it infuriated the nun. Agnes saw this quiet strength as a direct challenge to her authority. The cruelty towards Alara escalated. Agnes would single her out for the harshest tasks, the most degrading punishments. Yet Alara endured. One evening, after being locked outside in the freezing cold for hours for a crime she didn't commit, Alara contracted a terrible fever. She grew weaker by the day, her small body racked with coughs. The other children begged Sister Agnes to call a doctor, but Agnes refused. "Sickness is a punishment for sin," she declared coldly. God be her judge. In her final moments, as the other children huddled around her makeshift bed, Alara whispered something. It wasn't a plea for help or a cry of pain. It was a curse. With her last breath, she looked towards the door where Agnes stood watching and said, "You who have no heart, we will wander these halls forever, seeking the warmth you denied us, but finding only the cold you created." And then she was gone. The very next day, Sister Agnes was found in her chambers, lifeless. There were no marks on her, no signs of struggle. The doctor who was finally called said her heart had simply stopped. But the story doesn't end there. Soon after her burial, the whispers began. The sound of her distinct, heavy footsteps could be heard echoing in the empty corridors at night. Doors would slam shut in the cellar. Cold presence would sweep through the dormitories, chilling the children to the bone. They say Sister Agnes never left Blackwood Abbey. Her spirit, bound by Alara's curse, was trapped. She was condemned to an eternity of searching for something she could never have, a moment of peace, a shred of warmth, the forgiveness of the children she tormented. The abbey was eventually abandoned, deemed haunted and unholy. Even today, explorers and ghost hunters who dare to enter the ruins of Blackwood Abbey report the same things. The sudden, inexplicable cold spots, the faint sound of a woman weeping in the chapel, and the terrifying rhythmic footsteps that seem to follow you from the shadows. Sister Agnes, the cruel nun, is still there, forever paying the price for her heartless reign. Her story serves as a chilling reminder that true evil often creates its own inescapable prison. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as chilling as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tales from the dark side of history. See you next time.